Are you thinking about learning how to play the banjo? Or maybe you've just bought a banjo, you've got it home, you've unzipped it from its case and it's lying on the front room floor and you sat there staring at it thinking, what the hell have I just bought? Yeah, get off. What have I just bought and what do I do now? I should have had a shower, shouldn't I, before I come out? Oh, bloody flies everywhere. This video is just for you. I was covered in it from head to toe and I've never eaten a Scotch egg since. Good afternoon. Are you thinking of learning to play the banjo? What to expect and what to do on day one of owning a banjo? More than likely, when you pick up the banjo for the first time, it's obviously travelled, it's had time to sit and rest, and the strings haven't been tuned up since it was probably built. So first things first is to tune up your strings and make sure that they are back in tune. Typically on a 5-string banjo, in tune is going to be the standard open G tuning, which is G, D, G, B, D. Simple way to remember that is imagine walking down the street with your banjo on your back. Somebody walks past you and says, "Good day." Then you reply back, "Good banjo day. GD, GBD." You'll never forget that now because it's so ridiculous. Little pro tip is every time you pick up your banjo, tweak it, fine tune it back up to standard open G tuning. And what that'll do is you'll develop an ear for what in tune actually sounds like, because there's so many moving parts on a banjo. They are forever going out of tune, only slightly, but it only takes one string to go out of tune slightly and the whole thing sounds off. So good habit, get into the habit of fine tuning. It'll build up your confidence of playing about with your banjo and tweaking the strings, getting it sounding right. The next thing that I would do is all about mindset. Setting your expectations, realistic expectations. Now, on day one, you're not going to know a thing. As a matter of fact, if this is your day one, look at it this way. Today is the worst that you will ever be at playing the banjo. It's impossible to be any worse than what you're at now. So pick up your banjo, explore, hit some strings, make some noise, make mistakes. And in these first couple of days, just get used to the simple things. You know, putting on your neck strap, holding it, seeing what it sounds like, fine tuning it, hit a couple of strings, and yeah, just do the simple things on day one. Don't think that because you can't play a tune today that it's going to be difficult, because you just need to learn a little bit at a time. Now, if you've bought your banjo on a bit of an impulse purchase, maybe you watched one of my videos or you've heard somebody else play online and you thought, oh, I'll give that a go, and you've bought yourself a 5-string banjo. Specifically, that's what this video is about. It's about the 5-string banjo. There are styles of playing to explore. Now, with a 5-string banjo, there's 2 main styles, which is claw hammer, frailing banjo. It's like an old-time style of playing that's been around for centuries, and that's the style that I play. It's like a downwards picking motion with strumming, and that style of playing for me is more attuned to beginners and people who just want to pick up and play and just learn songs quickly. The learning curve is quite steep at the beginning because you have to learn a very specific strumming pattern called the basic frailing strum, which is quite challenging at first, but once you've got over that hurdle, I've had members in my community in Banjo Adventures who've started playing the first songs within 5 weeks. So for that reason, for me, clawhammer is a great choice for beginners. Now, the other style of playing is another really exciting style called Scruggs, 3-finger style, and that's where you get your steel finger picks, and that's the really exciting, fast-paced, loud, bright bluegrass picking style. which again, it's really good fun to learn, a lot of skills and a lot of fun to play. Whereas for me personally, I find that style very technical, very challenging, and it can be quite a long time before you start playing songs that when you play it, you can actually hear the tune, because it's quite heavy on the melody and hitting single notes. Yes, I'd recommend just explore both of those styles, see which one resonates with you the most, and there's no harm in learning both at the same time. But obviously by doing that, you'll be diluting your efforts across two completely different playing styles. There are transferable skills between the two, but it'll be a good idea to focus on one at a time, just so you don't get overwhelmed and burnt out, because that's something to look out for as well. Banjo lessons. Should you pay to learn to play? The answer to that is no and yes. No, for the simple reason you can learn online for free. On the internet, YouTube, Google, forums, there is quite literally an infinite amount of free resources to learn from. So save yourself some money and go and teach yourself. I taught myself, got my first banjo when I was 19, lived at my mum's, single, and all I had in my life was video games, work, and about 6 hours a night free to do whatever I wanted with. So for me, I had loads of time spare, not a problem. Knowing what I know now, being late 30s, family business, children, very little free time, would I try and learn by myself? That's the quickest way to giving up, in my opinion, for the simple reason that learning by yourself on YouTube, it's like, yeah, it's an infinite amount of resource, but it'll be the equivalent of giving someone the keys to a university and saying, go and teach yourself. Go and teach yourself and good luck on your exams. And in a couple of years' time, let me know how you get on. So as you can imagine, for a lot of people that can be very overwhelming. And for that reason, having some kind of structure, whether it be lessons, guidance, or some kind of plan on how to learn, at this early stage, it's like you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what things you need to be learning, in what order. You don't know who to speak to, if you're getting it right, if you're doing it right, if you're doing it wrong. And it can be quite overwhelming. Now, if you do go down the avenue of getting lessons, in-person lessons, online, it all, in my opinion, boils down to, do you connect with your teacher? You know, some of the best lessons that I received online were free video lessons on YouTube, but they weren't exactly by expert teachers. Usually it was just some guy sat in front of his webcam saying, look what I figured out. More often than not, you learn more from watching other people make mistakes than you do from watching experts just glide through a challenge or a playing style. Because that's what used to get on my tits a little bit, was experts. Now they mean well, obviously, because they want to teach, but when you're struggling, fumbling your way through a very simple picking pattern or a strumming style, and they're just like gliding through it, moving on to the next tip, leaving you in the dust, it can be a little bit frustrating. So if you check out some of my videos, I really adopt a very slow paced teaching style, and I also leave all my mistakes in. So I think it's important for people to realise, especially at the learning stage, is that understanding that, you know, the teachers make mistakes. There's no point editing it out to make me look good. I'll leave it in because I want you to realise that it is challenging, but it's rewarding and it's a lot of fun. And one of the key takeaways from that for me is play through your mistakes. So say if you're learning now and you're a week in and you've learned a style to play, whether it be claw hammer, you're working on that basic frailing strum, and you make a couple of mistakes, don't panic, just play through it. Play through your mistakes, keep going. And you build a resilience. Another bit of advice that I'd suggest would be to use every single resource at your disposal. Videos, books, blog posts, whatever. Use everything at your disposal. Book-wise, shameless plug coming up. You ready for this? I've got my own book. It's called Banjo Adventures, The Path of the Hobo. And in this book, it will guide you through your first 6 months of learning clawhammer style banjo playing. It'll take you from day one, and it's not just a technical guidebook, it'll just teach you different chord progressions and music theory and other stuff that can sort of go over your head. It's more geared towards guiding you through that first 6 months, pacing your learning out, what to expect by day 14, and it's more of a journal. So a lot of people give up because they can't see where they've come from. They're always looking ahead thinking, oh, I can't do that, I can't play the C chord, it's too difficult. And while they're focusing on what they can't do, they never look back at what they've come from. So even after 2 weeks, you're still looking at, no, I need to play this song and I need to learn that technique. But they don't realise 2 weeks before that, they knew nothing. And now 2 weeks on, they know how to tune up, how to hold the banjo, how to do the basic frailing strum, what the different techniques mean. Because it's not all just practical skills, a lot of it is knowledge, mindset, expectations. And that's what this book does. It helps you to manage your expectations. It'll guide you through your first 6 months, and it has prompts in it to ask you to reflect and look back and write notes on where you've come from and what you've learnt and how you're feeling and what to do if you start losing motivation. And ultimately, managing your expectations, because everybody wants to be an expert yesterday. Everybody wants to be the best banjo player today, but tend to forget that learning this is a lifelong journey. It's a lifelong banjo adventure that never ends. There's no finish line, there's no speed limit, there's no time limit. It's just every day you just get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And it's important to understand what level you want to be at, because when people join Banjo Adventures, usually the first question that I ask is, what is your ultimate banjo goal? And usually I get honest, humble answers such as, I just want to play a song by memory, I just want to relax in the garden in front of an open fire and just play a couple of tunes. Or some people just want to relax and just enjoy it and enjoy the sound. So not completely unrealistic expectations, and that's the right mindset, you know, and it's not unachievable. Remember, a banjo is designed by humans, to be held by humans, to be played by human hands. It's evolved for the last 200 years to be what it is today. It's not designed to be difficult or cumbersome or awkward. It's designed to be held by humans, to be held by humans, to be played by humans. All it is unfamiliar. Replace the word difficult with unfamiliar. That's my advice to you. If you're learning the banjo, everyone says, oh, it's difficult. It's not, it's unfamiliar. Imagine it being like your neighbour. Imagine your neighbour that you never talk to. You live next door to each other. You see each other in the morning. You might say good morning and wave, but that's all you know about them. You might know the first name, morning, as you both disappear off to work. Now imagine your work colleagues, the people who you don't live next door to, but they're the people that you spend 6, 7, 8 hours a day with, 5 days a week. Your work colleagues, you know everything about them. You know the names, the children's, where they went on holiday, the best place to go on holiday, what they eat for the lunch, etc, etc, etc. Why is it that you know your work colleagues who live miles away from you better than your next door neighbour who you sleep wall to wall with. Why is that? Familiarity. Because you're going to work every day for 5 hours a day, speaking to your work colleagues, getting to know them, spending time with them, and they become familiar. That's what this is all about, spending time with it. They say it takes 500 to 1,000 hours to become half decent at banjo. And those hours aren't spent from grand plans. They are spent from stolen minutes, pinching minutes everywhere you can. You know, take it to work with you, spend 20 minutes on your lunch break, 10 minutes while the kids are eating the tea, 5 minutes while you, I don't know, wait for the kettle to boil before you make a brew. Those small little chunks of time spent with your banjo all add up, and they all contribute towards you becoming a more competent, better banjo player. Becoming familiar with holding it, familiar with playing it, and that's all it is, familiarity. Familiarity is the key to success. So my name is Ben Dorning. I'm a banjo teacher from the northwest of England. Got my first banjo back in 2008, and I've been playing ever since, clawhammer style, which sounds a little bit like this. And just recently I launched my website, banjoadventures.com, and it's an online learning platform where I'm teaching currently about a dozen people from all over the world how to play clawhammer style from scratch. So absolutely no musical experience required. What we do is we take you from the basics of knowing nothing. We work on that basic frailing strum, building a solid foundation of confidence and technique. And then we start with the first chord, which is the D7, and then we take the basic frailing strum, that first chord, the D7, and then we learn our first real banjo song, Skip to My Lou. And there is nothing that gives you more confidence than being able to play your first real banjo song by yourself, by memory, without any help from me or from my video lessons. And that is the key of what I teach in Banjo Adventures, is just getting people off that first rung, build them solid foundation, core skills. And not only that, it's a shared learning experience. So we've got a full community where we chat, live chat every single day, and we can listen to each other play, share playing tips, share what's working with us. And so far, and this is the best that I've seen so far, is one of our members has learnt to play Skip to My Lou within 5 weeks of getting the banjo home and opening it from the case. So if you ask me, that's some pretty good going. It took me easily a year to learn my first tune. So, Carlos, you know who you are. So yeah, the book, Path of the Hobo, a clawhammer banjo learning journal. Like I said, it's a guided journal, and there are QR codes that you can scan with your phone. So if you don't want to become a Banjo Adventures member, you can get a copy of this book. It's a full interactive course, so it's not just a learning book. It's a full course, and it'll take you 6 months to complete. And by the end of the 6 months, you'll have your first song in the bag, that Skip to My Lou that I just showed you. You'll be able to play the C chord, and you'll be able to play other tunes like Cripple Creek, and Boil and Cabbage Down. Is that going? I forgot how it goes. Boil and Cabbage Down. Mine's gone blank. My final bit of advice would be just to enjoy it and have fun. And as much as you want to learn, and for the first sort of few weeks, even the first few months, you're going to be in that pain, high gain learning phase where everything's going to feel like a struggle. But you need to remember that it is a lifelong journey, and it's one of the most relaxing things you can do, is just sitting there outside in nature and just play. So if you're thinking about getting a banjo, or if you've just bought a banjo and you've just got it home and you're wondering what to do on day one, that's my advice, is to get comfortable holding it, get comfortable with your neck strap, get comfortable tuning it up, set your expectations. You're not going to be able to play like an expert on day one. Take your time, find some good resources to learn with. Consider, if you haven't got much time in the day, if you consider learning, or if you want to buy lessons, or if you want to join my Banjo Adventures community and enjoy a guided path from zero to playing your first tune, have a look at banjoadventures.com. And if you have a look at my homepage, you'll see testimonials from members who are enjoying learning and making excellent progress. So yeah, it's a really good interactive environment, whereas a lot of online courses, just you pay your money, they give you a library full of videos and then just leave you to it. Banjo Adventures is an interactive experience where you've got me 24 hours a day. I'm not on call, by the way, but if you ask a question, I'm typically there within 24 hours to answer it. I do video responses, I'll listen to you playing, advise, guide, coach, whatever it takes to get you from not knowing anything to becoming a banjo player. So go and check it out, banjoadventures.com.